Hello and welcome. I'm Alan Walls, and thank you for joining us today at the Yoga NoHo Center. This is your basic body mechanics, starting to understand the physical insight. I have with me today the lovely Vanessa and the lovely Natalia, and they're going to be working with me to show you the posturings. So this is part B, to what I just did. So I'm going to bring it a little bit quicker into this. So this is going to start a little bit faster. So hopefully you've watched part A or part 1 to kind of warm yourself up already. But if you are doing this and trying to jump into this right now, understand that you need to be able to let the body stretch out a little bit. Because remember, the most important thing about before you build strength is to get the stretch. So get the stretch and then you build the strength. All right? So follow the breath here. It's a lot of breath movement here, a lot of breath breathing. So always remember to breathe first, okay? So ladies, if you'll just take that last position we had in the first part, and as we ended, which was a down dog. So I'm gonna go over the structure with you right now with the down dog. You understand, the fingertips are spread far apart. We have a micro bend in the elbows so that the little bicep muscles can reach out. The shoulder blades are down the back, lengthening, creating that space between the ears and the neck. And we lengthen through the back. You can see that the pelvic rotation is lifted, a slight bend in the knees, and you're slowly gliding the heels to the floor as much as you can, strengthening the legs just enough that you can always keep a micro bend. Unless you're a very advanced practitioner, then you can play straightening the legs and strengthening them all the way. But you never want to lose the hip rotation, and you want to lengthen through the back, okay? So now that the ladies are there, warming up. All right, so we're gonna inhale the right leg high. Now from here, we have the right leg up. So you use the muscle in the lower back. So you can see right here where Vanessa has her gluteal muscle that lifted that leg. Now, we can also stack the hip if we wanna go a little bit further. So you can stack the right hip on top of that left hip. And if you want to go even further, you can bend that right knee, flex that foot, and as you do, that will really work out the quad muscle on this side. So the quad will really get into that, okay? So you want to try to keep a micro bend in that standing left knee, just so you can start to stretch that right hip up toward the ceiling. So as you stretch the right hip up to the ceiling, you can start to engage that side lengthening waist on that right side, which is starting to engage the whole body, okay? So you got the strength stretch all the way down. So let's inhale the leg back to straight, square back off the hip, so bring it back to even. Good. Take a nice long deep inhale. On your exhale, go ahead and bring that knee into your chest, just so you can start to feel what it feels like. Come into a plank. And that's it. Now you're there. Now go ahead and leave the leg, inhale leg back to straight again. And then let's swing that right leg through on the exhale between the hands. So now we've already went through this motion. We've been in this posture before, okay? So we're just gonna move through it now. So now that the feet are about maybe hip distance apart, whatever feels good to you, so don't get too caught up into how far away your feet are. Just as you bring it back, make sure it's comfortable so that then when you inhale, the arms above your head, and we're gonna go into crescent posture here, that you feel that you're stable, okay? So now, from this posture, we're bringing the right hip back, left hip forward. We're trying to create space, pulling the stomach, lifting the stomach in, and creating space between the stomach and the thigh. There's a 90-degree angle right over that right foot. And if you can, straighten back the left leg, okay? Now the arms are basically turn in, little pinkies turn in just a little bit, so those bicep muscles roll out, and the shoulder blades are down the back. Great job, looking great. So from here, we're gonna inhale. On our exhale, we're gonna open up the arms into cactus posture, bringing the heart to the ceiling. Good, inhale, back to crescent. Now exhale, drop your chest onto your thighs, bring your hands on either side of the foot. I'm gonna pause here just for a second, just so you kind of understand the recoil of the body. So we wanna make sure that you're using the body for the purpose of strengthening it. Okay, so right now, if you just drop the body down, you could just come flat. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little recoil. So we're gonna drop down, bend a little bit the hip down, and then we're gonna use that motion to lift the lower back and the stomach right toward the ceiling and bring that right leg back. So inhale. And then you exhale, elbows in into the chaturanga. Inhale into your up dog. Exhale, take it back into your down dog. So we'll go to the other side just to make sure you're warm and kind of go over those things. So you can inhale that left leg high. Keep that little micro bend in that right knee. You want to go further, then you stack that left hip on top of the right. You want to go further, you can go scorpion. Heel to the gluteal muscle, really working through that thigh, engaging that thigh, flexing the foot, working through the whole side waist of the body. So really starting to lift the left hip, getting to that side waist on that left side. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and inhale the leg back to straight. Square off the hips again, so make that adjustment. Inhale that knee into the chest, come into the plank. So this kind of warms up the body, feel that motion. Inhale, length strong. And then exhale, swing that left leg through between the hands. So now you're going to set yourself up once again. So when you swing that foot through, make sure that you feel that you set yourself up. Feet should be about hip distance apart, because now you're going to come up, inhale, hands above the head, into your crescent posture. Okay? So we go through the motions here. First of all, so we set ourselves up. The stomach creates space between the thigh. The right hip is forward, left hip is back. Fingertips roll in just a little bit. Shoulder blades are down the back. Looking beautiful. And then inhale, exhale, let's open up that heart. Cactus arms. Open up that heart. Inhale, back to crescent. And then exhale, drop your chest on the thigh. Make that recoil down, a little press, and inhale, lift that stomach up to the ceiling. Engage your core. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows in the rib cage. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Perfect. Beautiful. So we're going to go through this as a flow. I'm going to do a little chair posture first. So let's bend the knees, look to the front of the mat. On your exhale, you can walk or jump your feet to your hands. Beautiful. We walked them up in the first time, so we're going to modify a little bit of the movements and jumping back or moving forward. So you can either step back and step forward, or you can jump back and jump forward, okay? Vanessa will make those jump back motions. Natalia will just do the step back and step forward, okay? So first, let's really warm up those quad muscles, because we're going to really be doing a lot of quad work. So we want to make sure those quads are nice and strong. So let's make a bent knee position really deep right now, and let's inhale into chair posture. So the toes can be a little bit further in. They don't have to be touching, because everybody's body's different. And you can see I'm extremely bow-legged. So a lot of postures don't work for my huge bow-legged legs. Okay? Okay, that is a joke. Anyway, I have to modify a little bit so you can make that modification now. So the heels are out a little bit, toes are closer in, knees are bent, and we'll act like we're sitting in a chair as much as possible, so that you think about just sitting into a chair just like you would at home. Now, if you keep this back flat, you can see that my pelvic rotation is here. I know you ladies are going, can you quit talking and get me out of this? Okay, I'll get into that a little bit later, but as this time, we're going to forward fold. Inhale, we're going to still come through that forward fold. Knees are slightly bent. Exhale, chest on thighs. Bend your knees, chest on thighs. Inhale, let's halfway lift that back. Lengthen. Let's go ahead and step back into chaturanga. Knees down are always an option on the chaturangas. Inhale into up dog. Shoulder blades are back. Now you can look up to the ceiling with the neck like that if you feel that's comfortable. And then you can always look forward if you want to do the Natalia. Make that adjustment. Exhale, down dog, ladies. So we're going to do that flow with the crescent posture and opening the heart. Okay? So here we go. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, just swing through the hands. Set yourself up. Inhale into crescent. Exhale, open that heart, elbow out to the side. Inhale, back to crescent. Exhale, chest on thigh. Make that recoil, bounce down. Inhale, right leg back to me left. Exhale, elbows in, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog if you like, look up. Exhale, take it back into down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, swing that left leg through between the hands. Inhale into crescent. Exhale, open up the heart, elbows out to the side. Inhale, back to crescent. Exhale, drop the chest on the thigh. Make that recoil a little bounce. And inhale, left leg back to me. Exhale, elbows in. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, take it back into down dog. So that is your second part of the flow, okay? The first one was just a nice slow A, no leg lifting, just coming forward and back, warming up the body parts, then engaging the legs and the hips a little bit more, okay? So from here, I'm going to go into the third part of it, which is going to get into the warrior sections. So we're going to inhale the right leg high. Exhale, swing that right leg between the hands. Now, stopping here, we're going to drop the left foot at a 45, 90 degree angle, whatever feels comfortable to you. And then we're gonna inhale up into warrior one. So drop the back foot at 90 degree, and now as you start to bring the stomach away from the thigh, start to bring the right hip back, left hip forward, right hip back, left hip forward, good adjustment. Shoulder blades are down the back. Okay? So now you really wanna make sure that you're pressing on the outside of that left foot. So really ground down, because that's gonna help you press the left hip forward and right hip back. You wanna create as much space as you can between the stomach and the thigh. And now from here, we're just gonna open up our heart. So inhale, look up. Exhale, let's open up our heart. Inhale, come back to warrior one. Now on this exhale, what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up to warrior two. So we're gonna open up that hip a little bit. Take it back, we're gonna still press on the outside of the foot. We're gonna find our shoulder blades down our back. You're gonna find your dristi over that right center finger. Now, with our alignment here, 90-degree angle right over the foot. The hip is relaxed, so don't worry about tucking the hip underneath us. Just try not to hyperextend it too much in the lower back. But if you pull your stomach in, elongate to that side waist, that will make any kind of correction from any hyperextension to the lower back. The arms are down, shoulder blades, and we try to keep that 90-degree angle here on the side waist. So now to gauge that side waist, we're gonna inhale into a reverse warrior. Lengthening, so try to keep the muscle down into the shoulder blade, keep that space, and really engaging that side waist. So you're now stretching through this whole side panel of the body. And the hand is reaching back and away. Now the back hand is either on the calf or the thigh, or Vanessa's gonna wrap for us. And you can make these adjustments. Okay, now, I won't keep them here too long because I need them for the rest of the class. So they're gonna take a nice long deep inhale here. On the exhale, you're gonna windmill through. You're gonna lead with the right hand. You're gonna come onto the crescent of that left toe and bring the left hand down. Now, once you get there in that posturing, you're gonna do that little recoil. So recoil down, bounce, inhale, left, right foot back to me left. Exhale, elbows down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, take it back to down dog. And just so we make sure we're really strong before we go through the flow section, let's go ahead and inhale that left leg high and get the sides worked out. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, swing that left leg through all the way. Set yourself up, drop that right foot at a 45, 90-degree angle, whatever feels good. Inhale up into warrior one. Find that alignment. Left hip back, right hip forward, creating that space between the thigh and the stomach. Shoulder blades down the back. Yes, little roll in, pinkies reaching out. You can fire up those fingertips. Take a nice long deep inhale here. Exhale, let's open up the arms in the cactus. Open up that heart, really stretch. Inhale. Back to warrior one. Exhale, let's open up that posture into warrior two. Once again, make sure that the hip is kind of relaxed, okay? Lift the stomach in on the side waist and the shoulder blades are down. Try not to hyperextend with the lower back and tuck the pelvic underneath because we want the hips to be stretched normally through that stretch of the inner groin and hamstring muscles. So we're here. Now we're gonna inhale into reverse warrior. Try to keep that space between the shoulder and the ear, and then lengthen to the side waist. Hand is either on the calf or on the muscle, or a beautiful wrap like Vanessa is demonstrating here. The arm wants to be long and straight, so you get a stretch from the fingertips all the way to that thigh. Knee is bent over, so don't let the knee flare out. Keep the knee right over the foot as much as possible. Inhale, exhale, windmill through, slowly, left hand on either side, come onto that toe. Come in the crescent toe, left hand, right hand down, and then let's inhale, little recoil, flex it back, lay. Inhale, exhale down, inhale into up dog, and exhale into down dog. Beautiful. So, I'm gonna take you through this series, just one time, just so you can see what that happens with the flow, but first I have to structure the front part of it. So, I'll do that, and then we'll do the flow, okay? So, inhale, bend the knees, lift it from the mat. Exhale, walk or jump, feet to hands. Good. Inhale, halfway lift flat back, lengthen, elongate. Keep those knees slightly bent. Exhale, chest on thighs. Inhale, let's bring the hands all the way above our head right now. And exhale, come into Samasthitahi just for 1 second, just so we can start to understand this. So before I do the flow with them, in this third part of this section, I want to just make you understand a little bit about the importance of a flat back, which I'll get into in a later class, to kind of emphasize the importance of a flat back. Now, the flat back is so important through all your yoga practice, and that's what you're really working for in all your movements. is to really be able to understand the flat back, because everything pulls around the spine and grabs through the spine, and the spine and the vertebrae, everything wraps around it. Okay, I'll just turn Vanessa to the side just a second so you can kind of see that everything here now brings herself back. So all these muscles are coming together. The shoulder girdle here, all the spine, and then the hip girdle that's here, okay? So that's why it's so important to create a flat back. So go ahead and come back to normal. But from here, I'm gonna show you. So I'm not gonna keep you here too long, ladies, but I want to kind of emphasize the point of a flat back, okay? So inhale the arms above the head, keep them there. Now shoulder blades are down the back. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna forward fold with our arms here. We're gonna keep the knees bent, and just for a second, I'm gonna pause you right there. This is a very advanced move, so make sure your knees are always bent. But I'm gonna rotate from my pelvic, and I'm gonna come into a flat back and lengthen right there. So there's my flat back, okay? So now go ahead and bring your hands behind your back, just like we did many times. So you can see the only thing that's different from every time we swan dive and forward folded is now where the placement of the arms are. So that's how you keep your arms there. Go ahead and Vanessa, bring your arms back to in front of you. Good. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, chest down on thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, lengthening. Exhale, hands down, step back or jump back, chaturanga. If you're gonna jump, elbows are bent into that chaturanga. Inhale into up dog. Exhale into down dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, swing the right leg through. Inhale, warrior one, drop that back foot. Exhale, open up that heart. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill through. Recoil. Inhale, right leg back to me left. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows in. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, swing that left leg through all the way. Inhale, warrior one, drop that back right foot. Exhale, open up that heart. Inhale, back into warrior one. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. On your exhale, windmill through all the way. Recoil as you get there. Balance. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, down dog. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, into down dog. Fantastic job. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So inhale, look to the front of the mat. Bend your knees. Exhale, walk or jump feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, go ahead and roll all the way up nice and slow. Hands above the head just to get a... And let's come back into prayer posture. All right, that was part B of the two-part series. Now, I'm gonna take you through the whole flow, engaging both part one and part two together in a class series without making any of these kind of slow adjustments to the body, okay? So that's next. Now that you're warm, got a good understanding of all the posturings in the right alignment, you're gonna really make that body strong. Be right back with the class. Thanks for joining us.